loves? It's your girl, Sherika Shay. Welcome back to the Cage Bird Sings podcast, where we talk about everything incarcerated chats, meditation, and everything in between. And I am so excited today because Miss Tina is not new to the platform. So, how have you been, Tina? How have you
I have been great. Everything has been going good for me. I wrote a book.
Yes. Come on,
Yes,
bud.
I have it right here. I'm super excited and I am so proud of myself because I self-published this book. I wrote it myself.
Yes.
And now I did have some help. I had some assistance with AI, but
Okay.
nonetheless, I wrote this book. And to give you a little background, it's a tax book. It's called Tax Planning for Freelancers, a step-by-step guide to practical strategies. So, as you know, I'm a tax professional,
Yes,
and
yes.
I worked in this past tax season. I worked for Intuit, TurboTax.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing the inbound calls that were coming in where people needed assistance. People were like either they were do it yourself or they would, call to request a tax professional to prepare the taxes for them.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was learning is that people don't know anything about taxes. And
Wow.
I was very concerned because I was talking to people all across the country.
Yes.
And and it was very, very interesting for me because it took me out of my comfort zone because I was exposing myself to all kinds of tax situations from
Mm-hmm.
the retiree who has a ton of assets, including stocks and bonds and all that stuff, to your average everyday Joe who has just one W-2 and they don't know what to do, and I was learning. I was, like, wow, people don't know just simple tax stuff, like how to read a W-2, for
Right.
example,
Right.
to freelancers out here. And when I mean freelancers, I mean like got a gig on, you're a 1099, a contractor, and you may do, anything from administrative work to photography to, just all kinds of industries,
Yes.
as well as gig workers, your Uber drivers, your
Mm-hmm.
Instacart workers. They're all getting paid from a 1099 and
Right.
they're former employees, right? They've worked, where they're getting a W-2, right?
Right.
And so when it comes to that, a W-2 employee, we know they're gonna, their employer is responsible for their taxes. They pay a portion and the employer pays it. But you have an HR department that handles all of that. Well,
Mm-hmm.
when you're paid a 1099, you're responsible for your taxes. So you're responsible for keeping track of not just your taxes, but your expenses. People don't understand that if you make $40,000, right? You were paid on the 1099.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay taxes on that 40,000. But if you've got deductions, you can knock that 40,000 down, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So what I realized from working at TurboTax is that people don't know this.
Mm-hmm.
And people are getting wrong information. There's a lot of people out there. Now I'm not knocking the tax professionals,
Yeah.
but some people don't know things and they're giving information and it's wrong information.
Oh
So
wow.
I wanted to help, you
I'll say
know.
that's what inspired you.
Yes,
You saw your people struggling and suffering with these
right,
1099s and even these W-2 people that ain't paying them taxes and wonder why they ain't getting no money at the end of the year.
right,
Okay, thank
exactly.
you. Thank
So
you.
I'm a person who I want to help, and I have, you know, I've been in this industry for 20 years. I've been preparing taxes for 20 years. So I have a lot of knowledge.
Yes, you do.
And it kind of goes back to your platforms. I follow you on TikTok, And you do a lot of self help, self identification. Let's work on self. You're big on that.
Yes.
And so I have been doing that. I'm on this spiritual journey, and I'm just doing a lot of self work,
Yes.
right? And I realized that's when I realized I was like, I am a tax expert. I've got 20 years
20
in this
years.
game, this tax game. And I'm just sitting on all this knowledge. So I wrote the book.
Yay! I'm
And
saying for the people, yay!
yes, yes.
Tell
And
us
and in
who
this
the book
book,
is for.
Oh,
it's simple, it's in layman's terms, and I wanted to gravitate towards my Generation X
okay.
people. I'm Generation X, and I wanted to write it with Gen X in mind because that generation, we're older, we're coming up on 60,
Hmm.
and we're doing a lot of freelancing. We may have jobs, but we got them side businesses.
Right.
We got
Right.
we might be selling Avon, selling Mary Kay. I'm in the finance industry. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of us who are, out here trying to get that coin. Maybe we don't have any retirement, so we're trying to get a business to supplement our income,
Yes.
or we just want to get out of the rat race, or maybe we retired early, but we still need that money. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
this book is really designed for the Generation X. I when I wrote the book, had Generation X in mind, but it can work for everybody.
Yes.
It's simple tax strategies for that everybody could use.
I love that. I love the simple because the simpler the better. The simpler the easy. The easier it is to follow along, to get your deductions correct, to get your taxes correct. Even if you don't do it for this year, they can have the information for next year to help prepare them. And
Yeah.
so that's awesome.
Hey, I'm super excited to share this collaboration with you all. My brokerage and I have partnered with Ethos, a technology company offering access to life insurance products through insurance carriers that can be purchased online. The 100% online application takes just minutes. Many policies are issued same day and no medical exams are required. Just a few health questions. Also, with all eligible Ethos policies, we offer free will and trust at $898 value at no extra cost. If you live in these states and would like to work with me, please click the link in the description box below. For all other states not listed, please use the second link. Take care.
So I already know what inspired you to do it, right? So what was that process like for you writing this book? What did that look like for you, the process?
Well, it was a labor of love. I had an idea, and I just went and sat down. I did an outline and the kind of stuff that I wanted to talk about. I used AI tools
Mm.
to assist me with that process. And what I've learned too is that it's really, really not as daunting or difficult as it used to be in the old days, because I actually wrote a book before, back in the early 90s,
Mm.
and that writing that book, it took me a few years to write it. It was no we it was the internet, but it wasn't any tools to use to help you make that process a little bit more easier, faster. And so that book, I didn't publish it. It was more of a healing book because I was kind of going through some stuff back in that day. At that time, I was going through some stuff, and I just, I used it to kind of heal myself, kind of thing. And I love writing, English, and so this is coming back to me again. I used internet tools, some AI tools to help me, and just different. There's there's like so many websites out there that can help you with editing, that can help you with proofreading. So everything is not on you, like, like it used to be. You don't have to go and go to the big publishing houses and get things done and submit your work and wait for them to decide if they're gonna, pick you up or not.
Right, right.
I had a folder full of rejection notices, rejection letters back in the
Right.
day, because I was trying to, I was going through that traditional process. But
Mm-hmm.
this time I uploaded it onto Amazon. They have a great publishing platform for you. It's a physical book as well as an ebook. So
Nice.
the whole process is so much easier now with the help, with AI, with Amazon, and it comes to promoting, you can run ads through Amazon, on social media platforms and stuff like that.
Coming on the
So,
podcast. Yeah, come on the
yes,
podcast. Go tell the people.
yes, yes. So it was really this whole process only, it only took me a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, yeah, it only took me like 2 weeks
That
to
should
get it
inspire you
going.
people if you're listening and you're really serious about it. If you're really serious about making it happen, there are tools and options that are available to you to make it happen. And I'm going to share this with you really quickly because m- when I was younger, maybe about 22, 21, sometimes we hear people say that they want to do something.
Mhm.
And because you hear someone else say that they want to do something doesn't mean that you can't do the same thing. I was so young and naive. Somebody stood up and testified that they wanted to write a book. And I said, well, I can't do that because she want to do it. No, 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 no. Anything that you want to do, you can do. I just had to share that because you set up the interview. It just took me back to that. It took me back to that. Like I was really, really naive to the fact that if somebody else did it, that mean I couldn't do it. Ah.
Yeah.
So I just want to encourage you guys, if you feel inspired, to put your experience out there. But if you see a need for the people, put it out there. Take your time, do that outline, learn how to do your chat GPT and your AI to help you and make sure you just put your heart into it. Make sure you put your passion into it and it'll be yours. It'll definitely be yours. I love that, Tina. I love that for you. Sue, I got a question for you. So, is there one imperative thing that you can give to the average American in regards to their taxes? Is there something that you can give that's simple that they need to know?
So if you're a W-2 employee, bring down your tax bill. I would suggest that you start a business. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be big corporation with employees. You can be a solopreneur, a solo proprietor, whether it's selling earrings at the flea market or you have an online business. I would suggest, I personally believe that everybody needs a business just to offset their income and bring down their tax liability, especially if you don't have any dependents. Now,
Right.
if you've got dependents and you're making 30, 40,000, you could qualify for that earned income credit and the child tax credit. But if you don't have any dependents, you're making a substantial amount of money and you want to save on your taxes, I would highly suggest that you start a business.
This, you hear it? Start a business. Start a business. Hire your children if you got dependents.
Yes,
Hire your children.
that part too.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So, Miss Tina, tell the people where they can find you, or did you have anything else you wanted to share with the people?
They could find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay.
And my pen name is Lady T, the financial
Lady
tax bee.
T, Lady T, the financial tax bee. I love
Yes.
it.
I am very excited about this book. This is one of more books that's coming down the line.
Yes, I was about to say, what does it look like in the future? You have
Yes.
some up and coming, some more. You gonna write some more stuff?
I am. I do have a book that I'm going to be that I'm working on. It's specifically for gig workers. So for your Uber drivers and your Instacart, because what I learned from writing this book on freelancers, that the gig workers is kind of different. It's a little, not a whole lot, but just a tiny bit different. So I wanted to have a book specifically for them as well.
Cater to it. All right, that's right. Cater to the people. Cater to the
Yes,
people.
yes, yes.
Thank you for coming on the show. So normally what I do, Tina, how I actually like end the show or whatever is we do affirmations here. And so the
Oh,
affirmation, and since we don't have no kings, normally I have my cousin, he is my co-host, and I just go in and say, I am a queen,
I am a queen.
I am divine,
I am divine.
God is always with me,
God is always with me,
and my ancestors are proud of me.
and my ancestors are proud of me.
Yes. So we see y'all on the next episode. Take care and get the book.
Bye.
Get the book. The link is in the description. The link to the book is in the description. And go follow Miss Tina so you will not miss out on financial tips as well as tax tips. All right, loves. We'll see
Absolutely.
you.